Hey everyone, and welcome to That Vintage Lens podcast. We're back again. I'm Brandon Stanley, and I'm here in the studio today with Andy Adamas, Daniel Gebert, and John Henry Keenan. And we're talking today about a variety of things, but we're following up also to our last episode where we decided to do a kind of a drawing and choose some films that we think that other people haven't shot, maybe try some new things. So we've got those sitting in front of us right now. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, that's Spirit Juice Studios. Some of the finest Catholic content you're going to find. Just put out some great videos as a tribute to Notre Dame. As many of you may know, the historic cathedral burned just this past week during Holy Week for Catholics. So check out those videos at spiritjuicestudios.com. That's spiritjuicestudios.com. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our weekly update. What have we been doing? Daniel, do you want to start off with, because you got a lot of news.
I do have a lot of news. I've been developing a bunch of rolls of film with black and white with some chemicals that I have never used prior to this recent purchase, which is Cinestill Monobath.
It's awesome.
Cinestill DF96, as the cool kids call it.
Nice.
It is awesome. It is awesome. I've developed black and white in C41 process. That's what films are those? Your Kodak has one, Ilford has one that you can develop in color chemicals, and I did that with a buddy of mine in college, and some color film as well, Cinestill and
Nice.
Portra. But this is really my first stab at kind of doing it all on my own, and I built up a kit that I really, really like it. It's quick. The monobath is like one step and you're done. You just got to make sure you have a good stopwatch and a good thermometer, and you're good to go. And the scans are really clean. It's good.
How long
quality.
does it take? Like a couple hours?
Couple hours. I think I haven't timed it from like prepping the film in the bag to like dried negatives on the scanning bed, but I would guess it's about an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the actual development process, depending on if you're pushing or pulling, or if you have heated, if you heat up your film, or I'm sorry, if you heat up your chemicals or you agitate a lot, it changes how much the development time is. But again, kind of discounting all of those minute variables, it still only takes about 4 minutes per roll.
Dang.
So it's pretty rad. Yeah, like I've been doing 1 or 2 rolls a week, and it's been a really fun learning process.
Yeah.
Start to finish, shooting my own film, developing it, and then scanning it, and then publishing it. I am in control of every step of the process, which feels really great.
How's it compare to something where you would send it off?
Honestly, I feel like there might be a bit more grain in the scans.
In yours?
Yeah, in mine, and I'm talking HP5 and I'm talking Tri-X.
Sure.
So I don't have a huge, a lot of comparisons I can't make, like Delta and all that kind of stuff. I did one roll of Andy you had a roll of Delta 400 and the grain, right? Was it Delta 400?
No, it was a Tri-X.
Did you not have another? Oh, I only did the scans. I didn't do the developing. Yeah, the Tri-X was really grainy. The HP5 was a little better.
It was weird grain too.
It was, it's kind of weird looking grain.
It looked, I don't know if
like really pronounced.
we did something wrong.
Yeah.
It looked good. The actual negatives look awesome.
Yeah.
But it looked like leather.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I think it might have been some sharpening settings within the scanning software I'm using.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
But overall, I mean, the scans are great.
Yeah, and we
I
can
have so much
compare 'em.
flexibility.
From the people that we do send our film to, we've looked.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah.
So
I think moving forward, my plan is to send out some color film and some black and white film. If I don't have time to develop it myself, I'll send it out to the darkroom. I won't pay for any additional high quality scans, especially for 120. I might for 35 because our scanner isn't the greatest for 35.
Sure.
But for 120, the scanning that I can do on my own, I feel is superior, maybe not quite in resolution. It's probably like on par with what the darkroom can do. But for the 120, especially, I just feel like I have so much more control over the final image. The color balance, the way my highlights roll off and the shadows I just feel like I'm getting the images that I always wanted to get, but never did from the darkroom. So, I mean, that's what I've been doing the last week or so.
you can't beat the price, man.
Yeah, so what is the price difference there?
You're talking owning all of the lab stuff or just the chemicals?
Say, well, let's say that. So what's the base cost? So you want to get started
Sure.
in this, and then tell me a little bit about how much it costs per roll after that. Once you own the supplies
Sure.
and you're just changing out chemicals every time, or
Yeah. So from top to bottom, I have a Patterson tank. It takes 2 rolls of 35 and 1 roll of 120.
a Paddington tank.
Not a Paddington, not Patterson the movie tank. It's a little tank. I don't know. I think that's $30, and then a dark bag so you can prep your film onto the spool, which is another $30 or $50, and a funnel and a thermometer, and they all kind of add up. But altogether, I think my final shopping cart was just a bit under $200.
Okay.
That was
For
including
everything.
film, though.
I also bought like 5 rolls of HP5.
Yeah.
But even if it was 200, so that's around the cost of 10 rolls being developed.
Or less.
Less.
Or yeah.
If you're doing 120 and the super scans, it's less. It's
Sure.
it's maybe like 8 rolls.
If you are getting prints, not the super scan is the one in the middle, correct?
Super
that's
scan's
the
the
highest.
top.
Okay, so the enhanced scan, let's say you're just going right in the middle and you're getting prints.
Yeah.
It's $25
Yeah.
per roll.
For prints, yeah.
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 So, and I mean, a lot of people, they want to get prints.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
prints
I,
are fantastic.
I should add too, I'm using a flatbed scanner, the Epson V600, which is pretty popular. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what you get when you are just trying to scan your own film.
Sure.
The quality is great for 120, like I said, but I think that scanner right now at Best Buy for like $160, something like that.
160? Okay.
Yeah.
The one above it, I was caught up because I'm thinking about the V800, which is also like
$230, something like that.
I thought it was more like $500.
I
Really?
thought it was in that range
It's
too. I-
much higher end, but you can also get a much higher resolution. Out
Yeah.
of it. But yeah, no, the V600, the scanning quality so far is great, especially for black and white. And
So let's say-
$160. So
Sure. So if you want to have something on par, so we're going darkroom because
Yeah.
that's the one that we use for the most part. If you want to get something on par with like the super scans from the darkroom,
Sure.
you're looking somewhere in the range. Everything like the initial cost of probably around 800 to 1,000 for
yeah.
everything, including the scanner, which
scanner,
is the
yeah.
most important. Which is not the most important.
I would
the
say
most expensive part of that.
if you throw in a printer, a photo printer, then you're talking about under $1,000 for sure.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about just a scanner and just development, I would say you can definitely get in the door for under $300.
In the door. Yeah.
160-ish bucks for the scanner, 160-ish bucks for the chemicals.
Yeah.
And the tank and all that stuff. So what it really does is it pays for itself the more and more and more you use it. If you're cranking out 3 rolls a day for 3 months, your prices are going to be astronomically lower than they would if you were sending out every roll to the dark
Yeah,
room.
definitely.
So
it's not the type of thing that, I mean, certainly it's great if someone does shoot 2 rolls a year and wants to develop their own.
Oh,
no
yeah.
problem with that
Yeah, no.
whatsoever. But if you're talking just about cost, it's not going to make as much sense for someone who shoots very rarely
Right.
to set up a full home development system unless you don't care as much about the scans.
Right.
But if you're the type of person who's shooting multiple rolls a month, long term, you think this is going to be something you're going to be doing for a while, then it's definitely something that you would want to consider as opposed
Yeah.
to sending every roll off.
especially if you have like kind of what we have going on here. I've been developing a couple of rolls from you guys. Just kind of testing out, making sure the chemicals are all that stuff I have down. But I think moving forward too, we will kind of give each other rolls of film to develop.
Oh yeah, you're getting all my film.
Yeah, so especially if you can kind of build it up within a group of people, kind of be,
Yeah.
Maybe between 5-10 people.
Yeah.
There's one person who does all the lab stuff.
Yeah.
That would pay for itself. Or even if it's a group of 3, you could split the costs, and then you're talking about reducing your film development prices per year.
I can
by
see it now.
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
I can see it now. In another year, we're going to have that. We're going to have a section on the website where you can send your film in and we'll
Oh.
develop it too.
We'll
it's-
just chain Daniel in a dark room
Yes,
and make him
yes.
do this
Serious
all day.
I do love it, so I you wouldn't even have to chain me. But
yeah.
I'll be in there.
we will see. We'll see how far it goes, because within the next month or so, I'm going to start really attacking color film.
Yeah,
So I
so
want to find color chemicals that I really like.
I could be wrong, but I thought the basic setup, including the equipment that you got, was about $100.
I think it was.
I priced it out a few days ago, and I think it was in the range of like 150.
I think that's
Okay.
where it was. Yeah.
So once you get, I mean, the thermometer, once you get the changing bag, once you get, the actual spools
Right.
for the film, then yeah, it starts to add up a little.
And
bit.
there's a lot of things that are like kind of essential, but not crazy essential, like the squeegee and the clamps
Yeah.
and your 35 mil canister delitter and all of those things, which really rack up. That's $25 per thing, and you could get away with not having any of those three or more, but you really should. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying maybe $150.
Sure,
Nice.
still not bad.
Still, I mean, not bad. Especially if you go on a trip and you shoot 5 rolls of film, that's $150 if you're sending them out to the
And
darkroom
one-
right there.
Quick, also little bit of information with that cine still. They say the life is 16 rolls. So there's that. If
Yeah.
you compare those chemicals to some of the other kits that you can buy, it's actually more expensive
Right.
to go this route. But you get the convenience of not having the fixer and the Blix and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
And for me, the main attraction to it is it's much faster.
Yeah.
And I'm totally okay buying a $25 bottle of chemicals every few months, as opposed to buying 3 bottles of chemicals every 6 months. Because I don't know why, something about the way my brain works, that one just makes me feel more comfortable. And since the results are good, I think I'm going to keep going with that.
yeah. Sounds
Awesome.
great. I'm looking forward to seeing.
You kind of inspired Brandon and myself to
Oh, I know.
consider buying a kit for ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's fun. You
It
guys
is
should
fun,
you guys should
man.
experiment with the one that's at the office.
I was
right
like,
now.
man, I got a scanner at home. Like, this thing's a piece of junk. It's like first things first.
Yeah.
New scanner.
Yeah, I don't know that I would go as far as like picking up a nice scanner and all of that. Like,
Yeah.
I've done a little bit in the past and I enjoyed it. But part of it for me is that I spend so much time with digital, just kind of manipulating the photos and getting everything there. What I love, I think one of the biggest draws for me about film is that I can take the photos and then I can send it off, and I don't have to do much more work there, which
Yep.
is hugely appealing because of how much time I spend with digital. So I enjoy the process, but I like also the fact that I take the photo and I don't mess with that moment in any form until I get the scans back.
Yeah.
There's also
and the
something
prints.
nice in that the film photo you take, whether you develop it yourself or send it off, in a sense it's finished. Like if you take a digital picture and then you don't do anything to it and you just put it out there, you almost feel like you were slacking off. You didn't
Yeah,
do all the work
exactly,
to
yeah.
fix it and touch it up.
And manipulate it.
And one of the first things that struck me about film when I got my first roll back just like 2 months ago was they're done. These colors, I would have striven to get these colors on a digital photo.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just clicked it, had my one shot. Some of them turned out, some of them didn't, but that
Yeah.
was that. Yeah.
Those are all valid points, and I guess it does take a while. And I will say the most time consuming part is definitely scanning.
Yeah.
Definitely scanning.
The scanning, man, the scanning is so important. After watching you work with that, I mean, I always thought your Lightroom skills were legit,
Oh, thanks, man.
but after seeing like the scan of like what I shot the other day, dude, you can do so much. There's so much more flexibility,
Yeah.
and you're able to achieve. You know, it's like you look at these people on YouTube and you're like, man, how are they getting these great photos? I mean, you'd be surprised how much that's done in post.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Well, I want to keep it moving in terms
Yeah,
of
let's do it.
updates. So, updates for this week. Shot
Yeah,
anything?
I have indeed. Last time I mentioned how I was looking forward to getting my Canonette back. It was my mom's. She got it in 1978, I think.
Nice.
And I just got that back from the shop where it was being refitted and touched up a bit. So I'm still on my first roll. Hopefully going to finish it by Easter Monday. I've got Ilford HP5 in it, and so I'm looking forward to bringing that in to put it through that whole process that we were just talking about.
Darkroom Dan.
Darkroom Dan.
No one actually uses HP5 here. That's crazy.
Oh,
I
man.
can't believe. No.
I
How
hate
many rolls do you
HP5.
have, Daniel, of HP5? Well, because I
Just undeveloped, like unshot, or maybe 6
okay. So you didn't
of
buy the
120.
Yeah,
and then another
120.
3 or 5 of 35.
Sure.
I don't know. It's like if I can develop it, I'm going to shoot
Sure.
it.
Yeah.
You know, and I love the results. So
I like HP5 too. I've always leaned a little more toward the Kodak versions, but that's just been like
Yeah.
part of it for me. I love the grain that I get in Tri-X. And that's part of I think for me with black and white, I don't tend to go for as much of like the crisp grainless images.
Right.
So I don't tend to shoot medium format black and white. It tends to be 35, because for me there's a little bit of trade off there. It's like I'm losing the color aspect to it, and for me I like just adding a little bit of that grain. And
Yeah, I would love to do a side by side with Tri-X and HP5 because
T-Max.
And T-Max.
Yeah.
T-Max, even throw an Ilford Delta. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the Delta 400 that
Delta 400.
yeah.
Because just from what I've seen from developing, sorry to hijack your updates, but
We'll get back to
I
it.
will say, I think the HP5 has a really nice balance of noticeable grain, but not like annoyingly noticeable grain.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in 120. So yeah, I would love to do a side by side of those.
It'll
couple
happen.
of black and whites.
John Henry.
Oh yeah, so it's actually funny. Right before we got here, I got my email from the dark room saying
being
that they
uploaded?
just received it. So hopefully early next week.
When
But,
did you send yours in?
I sent it in. What is today? I think on Monday.
What did you shoot?
You sent your film in on Monday. I sent my film in last Wednesday, and they haven't gotten it.
Really?
Oh,
That's-
I hope
That
it didn't
is
get
what you call
lost.
lost film.
Oh,
That's concerning.
That could be bad.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you have the tracking for
I
it?
do have the tracking number, and
It's just
nothing's
still
been received.
en route.
It's in the red.
Wow.
It's rough. Speaking of lost film, I had one of those critical moments in the development of a young
Oh,
photographer,
yeah.
which Daniel was there to witness.
Oh yes.
Something went wrong with a roll that I was really looking forward to seeing. It was the first roll of Superia that I had shot. I have another roll in the dark room now. But as I was trying to rewind it, I just knew something was wrong. And when I opened the back of the camera, all the film was still on the other side, just exposed.
There goes
and
that
ripped.
Bubble Hubble film again.
So-
Yeah, there you go. The double. Yeah,
More of a stylistic choice. I think.
yeah. Did it break off?
It broke off.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how. I suspect from the beginning maybe something hadn't been wound right, and so the teeth
Was
just
it old?
tore at it. No,
No, pretty
it
new.
wasn't old, but it could have been my fault, loading it. I'm not sure, but
It was a sight to behold.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was sad. Just taking a roll of film and throwing it in the garbage.
No, I
Yeah.
did that. Yeah, no, I did that in Ireland when I loaded the film into my camera in the back of a dark van as we were flying down the Irish countryside at night, and shot the full roll that day, that next day, and then pulled it out of the back of the camera only to find that I had loaded it backward, and it was like, there's not much I can do here. I mean, it's paper backed, so I'm not really getting much off that. So that also went in the trash.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
rough in there.
Yeah. So the Canonette, what do you think?
I'm liking it so far. I mean, the first thing which is so striking is how quiet it is when you take the picture.
That leaf shot.
And then the focusing on the rangefinder has been a lot different than the Olympus 35mm that I was using, the SLR. So I haven't got a roll back yet, hoping to develop it myself with Daniel's help on Monday or Tuesday. So
Nice.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
I'll
that
make
should
sure
be
to screw it up.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
There you go. Yeah. No, it's
No problem.
That's interesting. It's such a great travel camera, and that it's so compact, and it also has a fantastic lens. What is it? 40?
It's a 40 millimeter lens.
1.7, 1.9. 1.7?
1.7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 1.7. It's got some sort of interesting limitations that I almost enjoy in that it doesn't go any faster than a 500th of a second shutter speed, and it can't stop down more than f/16, I believe.
We were looking
Although
at that though. Remember?
I was looking at it. I'm a bit confused. I've got to look it up still. In that, when you've got it on the auto aperture setting, you would think if it could go past f/16, it would, but it doesn't. So
What if you just keep turning it? And aren't there like 3 more?
no,
clicks?
there's buttons on the other side of the auto. So it goes from 1.7 to 16 on one side, and then it's got some weird stops like
like 28,
like
24.
F14 and then F22.
it's like F14, F20, and then F28.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure if those are actual stops or what
Yeah.
exactly those relate to.
Pick up the
Confusion,
manual.
that's what they are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be looking it up.
Does it have a thread on the front, like on the lens? Can you put like an ND filter on there?
I don't believe that it does, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the 1/500th of a second is. It seems fast until you get it out in the sunlight, and it's like, yikes.
Yeah, the other
But-
day I was a little bit.
Yeah, but that's when the dynamic range of film comes in. You can, it's better than the alternative, which is underexposing film. So,
Yeah. And it's just part of what makes it a creative challenge. That's
Yeah.
part of the whole draw of film in the first place.
Yeah.
Nice.
So nice. Any updates, Andy?
Oh yeah.
Besides your roll of film getting lost.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of.
Well, you talked about a
Works.
possible camera the last time we
Yeah.
had the show,
And I
and you
didn't-
haven't bought anything.
Nope.
right?
I have bought nothing. No,
Which is what's sitting in front of us. Nothing.
I found an Elon 7,
Nice.
which you surf Facebook, eBay, looking for that deal, and I found one.
Nice.
I
How
found
much
it-
did you pay for that?
I'm glad you asked. Paid $15 for it.
Dang.
Jeez.
So
You got a better deal than I did with Mamma Mia.
yeah,
Brandon was furious.
I was watching a YouTube video and this guy was like, hey, you shouldn't pay any more than $50. I bought mine for $15. And you hear people say that. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well,
Sure.
this video is like 5 years old. And I just started looking on Facebook, and I don't know if Facebook was listening, Big Brother listening.
Probably.
But yeah, I found one for $15 and it was a few towns down. I don't know if it works. So one year when that film arrives at the dark room, and I'll know if it works. That's the thing, that's the film was in that package. So I guess I'll just have to shoot another 2 rolls and
I can develop them and see if they
have
work.
Dan's dark room.
Darkroom Dan.
Darkroom Dan.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's awesome. You're saying your Canon that goes up to 500.
Yeah.
Your shutter speed. This is like 4,000, which is just weird at first. I'm like, wow, this is.
The
Yeah.
1V hits. I think it hits 1/4000. I don't think the film cameras got to 1/8000th.
Mm-hmm.
I think it wasn't until digital that they hit that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still
this-
1/4000th is. I mean the F3 I've got here is 1/2000th, and
Okay.
and at times in the sunlight still I'm like, man, I'm stopping
Yeah,
way
it's the
down.
same
on
as
this
my
thing.
Olympus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Happy with it so far?
yeah, so far, as long as it works,
Mhm.
I would like to see if it's exposing properly or there's no light leaks.
Yeah.
None of
I'm
that
sure it's-
bubble film.
I'm sure it's good.
It'll be great to see how that beautiful Sigma you've got on it.
Oh yeah, I've used it for video a bunch. It's Sigma, so
Yeah.
the Sigma Art 50 mils on there, which is hilarious because it's way front heavy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Big chunk of glass.
yeah, it's auto everything.
Nice.
Auto load, auto wind,
Mm-hmm.
auto focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's nice every now and then to have something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
especially with kids.
That's the
I
thing.
mean,
That was what
yeah.
did it.
I mean, I'm trying to focus on the F3 and get my son in focus as he's like running toward me in low light where I'm wide open. I'm like,
Yeah.
there's no way. So
I used the F100 this week. And
the Nikon.
yeah, the Nikon F100. It felt weird having autofocus because I have this modern Nikon 80 mil,
Yeah.
85 mil 1.4 or the 35 mil or whatever, and man, it felt weird.
Yeah.
It's got a very satisfying shutter sound and everything is automated. So I don't know.
It's
I like it.
It is
But
fun.
I don't know if I like it
it's
for everything.
the complete opposite of a medium format as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I mean, you can blast through a roll with something like this.
Yeah.
It's perfect for when you're, I haven't done it yet, but going downtown in Chicago and just shooting away.
And as long as one of your friends can develop the film for you, it doesn't actually cost you
yeah,
that
gotta
much more
find a
money.
person.
Yeah, exactly.
I need a
no,
guy.
what I love these for is that like the autofocus cameras is when I'm on a film shoot, like a video film shoot, and I've got a 5D there, and I need to take photos on digital. It's so easy to switch the lens over to the
Yeah.
the 1V or something,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't have to carry additional lenses. I don't have to carry a bunch of extra stuff. It's just an extra body, and then I can use the same stuff between them. And it's and a lot of those times I'm running around. It's like I have a quick second to take a shot, and so sometimes it's not even enough time to like meter everything. I just have to have the settings ready to go, pull it out, click, and put it away.
Yep.
So that really helps for that. But
I'm stoked. I love it. I don't know if it works, but I love it.
Yeah.
find out.
So chances are it's fine.
Yeah, it looks like it's in great shape.
Yeah, it's missing the eye cup, but
Yeah, you can
That
get
was
those
it.
online. Yeah.
you'd be surprised, man. I'm finding these because it's the large one. It's the EOS D, and that one's like $30.
It's more than your,
If more
It's
than the
more than the
camera.
camera, yeah.
So
I
I'm
will
like,
say-
do I want to?
I was so inspired by when you got yours the 7 in. I looked them up, and there are people asking like $180 for them.
I know. That's why I was like,
It's insane.
Someone,
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in mint condition, but I can probably sell it for like $50.
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, yeah, it's a win.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I haven't done anything super interesting past couple weeks. Well, I take that back. I have. Since the last episode, there were a few things I picked up. I think I can't remember if it happened before the last episode. I don't think I talked about it at all, but I did end up picking up the Mamiya 645.
Copycat.
For the record,
Oh, I
was
know.
looking at it
I know.
before you purchased yours first.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I picked that up. It took me a little while longer, but I ended up getting the lens.
Yep.
So I got
Nice.
got the 1.9, which is
And have you used it?
I've taken a full roll and it's out currently. So we'll see how it looks.
Nice.
I think I need, even though it's in like mint condition, I do think it needs a CLA. Not for much adjustment, but just like the foam for the dampening of the shutter or the mirror. It's kind of falling apart, and so
Yeah.
it's shedding a little bit, and I don't want any of that getting on the film. So
Right.
probably gonna have that cleaned at some point. But yeah, picked that up. Also picked up the 85 millimeter. I sold a bunch of stuff, a bunch of my old digital stuff finally. So I picked up the 85 and the 35 1.4 lenses for Nikon AIS. So I'm very happy with those. Shot a lot on the 35. Very happy there. And then also trying a new photo lab. So sending that stuff off to Richard. So
Nice.
we will see how Richard compares.
It's
How-
the baller version.
When did you send your stuff out to Richard, and how long has it
very,
taken?
very recently.
Okay.
So like over the last couple of days.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you
they
said
haven't
that a
received
while.
it yet.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably going to take a little bit.
I'm
but,
very excited to see those images.
yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So did you get prints just to see?
Not prints this time.
Okay.
No,
I'm just curious to
I do
see.
when I get prints. I usually there's a place that I send it to that I send files off to called Aspen Creek Photo, and
Okay.
I really love the work that they do. You know, it's not they're not really prints. They're it's photographic paper. So
Okay.
it's a little bit thicker. It just it feels nice to me, and so I really like the work that they do.
Yeah.
And I mean the print that we have above our television of the Chicago
That's
skyline.
digital.
That one was taken digitally.
Oh, it was? I was just
No,
messing.
it was taken digitally. I took that
I
on the
thought that was-
1DX, a panoramic shot. It's like 6 images stitched together, but it's on
mature
photographic
comes
paper,
out.
and there's just something. It feels more vibrant than a print can.
Yeah.
And we have a photo printer here, so when I need 4x6 stuff, I typically do it here
Yeah.
if I can. So
Nice.
cool. Well, we've talked a little while about kind of the updates, so let's jump into what we're actually here for
The
today.
main event.
It's we don't have as much time to talk about it now, but I think it'll be really cool. We have the 4 canisters here of film. They're unmarked in that I switched all of them over without looking into these vintage Kodak yellow and blue film canisters. So all 4 look identical. I don't know which ones are in there, aside from the one that I picked out. So yeah, do we want to kind of start, Daniel? Do you want to just grab one and
Sure.
pull out what you got?
All right.
Hopefully I don't pick up the one that.
So whoever is you get, they'll have to say something real quick
Yep.
because we don't have a lot of time. Just a little background on it.
Do I pick one and then I
Yeah,
open
so
it
go
up?
ahead.
You pick it, open it up, and then
Daniel's
whoever
now
chose that
opening
film,
the canister.
then they will say something about the film.
He's
Okay, so we don't just
unthreading
do
the
it all at the
canister.
same time.
Right.
Here you go.
I think this one's the one that I gave.
No, it is. Don't look too closely. You just hide it. To
Oh,
yours.
maybe not. Did
Okay.
anybody put like a cardboard in there?
I put a piece of paper in mine.
Ooh. Oh.
What is it?
Okay, I have no idea.
You haven't
It
heard of
is-
it?
ADOX CMS 22 Pro.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I wanted to buy that for
Black and white
myself.
film.
Nice.
Ultra high resolution.
The highest resolution,
I'm sorry, does it
They
say
say it-
ISO 12?
12 or 20.
It's
What?
crazy. Yeah, there are films that are that low. Yeah, it's ultra low.
ISO 12?
If you're, yeah, and it says like depending if you are in an overcast condition, I believe it's 20.
Or is
And-
it
or
it
is it the-
daylight and tungsten?
No, it's
No?
overcast. It actually shows
it
an
says
overcast
in sunlight,
symbol.
in sunshine 12, in cloudy 20.
So I'll give you real quick since we're a little tight on time. If you shoot it in 12, it's supposed to be a little bit more drawn out, so it's gonna be flatter. You might like that.
I do.
And the way you develop it is going to be weird. So you have to look it up.
I will send this one out. I don't want to screw it up.
You might actually have to. I don't know because they make their own developer. They make their own
Yeah.
developer kits.
Interesting. Yeah.
So you may actually have to send it to them.
Yeah.
Or find a person to develop it for you because it's a specific process. It's
Okay.
not. It's like one of the most uncommon processes of developing.
Interesting.
And my mind is just whirling as to what I'm gonna use this
And it's
for.
supposed to be grainless. They say there's
ISO
0
12,
grain.
so
Yeah.
Yeah.
come on.
And I've seen some reviews.
I'll push it to 800.
There you go.
Yeah.
800. There
Feed
you
it
go.
to your dog.
It's weird. It looks like HP5. No,
So, so have fun with
Well,
that.
That is
one.
I would
awesome.
keep it open. That way we know we don't get these mixed up.
Sure.
So, all right, John Henry, you want to choose one? Yeah, no, that's an awesome.
That's a good pick.
Yeah,
that
very
is
well
a good
done, Andy.
pick.
That's very obscure. So
I feel like they're all going to be like that.
I don't know. I was slightly boring with mine, but
Oh, slightly boring.
Let's see. This is Fuji
Nice.
Velvia 50.
Velvia.
Oh.
Is that yours, Brandon?
ISO
That's mine.
50
Oh, that's mine.
/ 18.
Yes, I also chose a very low speed. It's a color positive film or a slide film, so you have to be much more deliberate with your exposure because it doesn't have the latitude of color negative. But when you nail it, supposedly the colors are just incredible.
they really are.
I love good color. So
Yes.
that'll be fun.
So I chose that to make it challenging. Basically, and also
welcome. You're
because
welcome, John
it's a
Henry.
different type of chemical process, so it'll be cool to get your slides back and be able to actually look at the images.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're all making
different-
zines out of this, guys. So
There you go.
make sure.
Do you think like the darkroom would be able to develop
Yeah,
it?
they for
Okay.
sure can. They've a
It's what E6
yep.
development.
Yeah, and they just have like a checkbox you click, and
Yeah,
I think it might be
I
like
remember
extra $2
seeing
or
that.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, that's
Nice.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
fun, man.
Well done.
Slide film's
Yeah.
fun. Plus, you can have slides made from it.
You're literally.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with slide film?
Not a ton.
what-
I've heard you guys talk about it, but that's like what they would use, when you go on the vacation, right? And you
Yeah,
come
I
back
mean,
and
when you
show
get your
people
negative back,
slides.
it's
Yeah.
going to be the colors.
Yeah.
You can.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, that's
It's
on
a-
the list. I bet you within the next 6 months I'm gonna have a slide projector. They're so cheap these days. The old
Yeah.
the Kodak carousels are just they're so cheap, $50. So I'm probably going to pick up one of those, and then because I think it would be great to see some of the slide film.
Oh, that'd be
the
awesome.
stuff. I mean, projected up in the
This-
studio.
oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
yeah.
So I think similarly to Andy, I chose that because I really want to shoot some of that. And I think if I want to shoot it, probably y'all also want to shoot it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to enjoy shooting it.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I've shot a little bit of Velvia in the past. I need to pull some of that out.
Yeah.
Ektachrome I did more recently, not nearly as crunchy.
Yeah. Velvia is like the crunchiest it
Yeah,
gets.
it's great for like architecture and landscapes.
Well,
It's like
those are
the
my
most.
specialties. so
There you go.
that'll be good.
Super vibrant colors.
Yeah.
So
All right. So far, nobody has picked their own.
that's
Yeah.
good.
That's,
All
the
right,
odds are.
you want to go next?
Yeah, no, you go.
Me,
Go ahead.
me?
You're
No,
go-
no, no, no.
I
no,
saw
you
your
know,
hand
we
out
have
there.
to. We have to do it. I was going to move it over to you.
Oh, okay.
So just make sure, because now.
Well, Daniel picked
Yeah,
Andy.
Daniel.
So this.
Oh,
it
that's
can't-
right.
Can't be
Yeah, no,
Andy's.
we're good.
So,
we're
yeah.
good. For some reason, I thought for a second that you guys
Yeah.
would switch around.
Let's see. So, okay. Short story. I've been having this vision of getting this exact film.
No.
I'm not kidding at all.
What
yeah,
is it?
dude, I kept seeing this.
What is it?
Roll?
Oh, that's
yeah, the
mine.
in the infrared. I was like, this is the film I'm gonna get. So I'm gonna get some Rolly something or another.
Nice.
What is it? What infrared?
So if you
It-
shoot it now, I felt a little bad because to get the infrared effect, you have to have a filter, and they cost about $40.
We all are like, I have extra development costs. You have extra development. We all have extra costs.
Well,
But-
there you go.
So it's black and white film. If you shoot it just normally, it'll be normal black and white film. I think with fairly low grain. Mm-hmm. But if you get a filter, and there's a few different ways, some more sure than others, that cuts out parts of the light spectrum, you can get some very neat looking images, like
Yeah.
cutting out the red or the blue.
yeah,
Yeah,
like so from what I understand, it's like if you're shooting like a bowl of tomatoes, it's gonna actually change that color.
yeah, it will. It'll look otherworldly. Now, to do that, it puts the ISO down to like 8 or something.
Man.
Oh, really?
And so you need
All
to
super low speed.
Oh, and then the filter takes it down like 1,000 stops. So we're talking about a long exposure,
Well, this,
long
which
is
you're
this
good
the
at.
most
We saw your
challenging?
long
Oh,
exposures.
man.
Yeah, that is
true.
that is what you've been focusing on.
Yeah.
long
Yeah.
exposure,
So it's sort of perfect.
I gotta
Yeah.
find a red.
Unfortunately, it
Unfor-
can't be perfect.
Unfortunately, this means
Oh,
You got your own.
so.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, it means that I the very last man, I should have switched them up more.
No. So you know what it is.
I know what it is.
I think because you got your own, you get to switch with anybody here.
I think that's fair.
Well,
That is
That'd be
fair.
a good way to do it.
How about I could do this too?
And
I
there's a
could
twist.
describe the film and see if anyone guesses
No,
what it is.
No,
you
just
should pick.
You should
But-
just pick.
Well, I pick to switch with someone.
Yes.
yeah. Which one?
It's
Which
like-
one do you want the least or most?
Dang.
It's a whole
Because
new
you
twist.
can't get your own. That's not
Well,
fun.
okay. Yeah.
That's true.
It's just weird.
I don't want to like steal anyone's.
No, you
what
should
What do you
steal.
have again? You have the Fuji,
Yeah.
The Velvia.
the Velvia. I've shot that before.
We should just all pull it. Here.
I'll pull it out.
We're all putting it on the table so you can.
Well, so here's. I'm gonna switch with Daniel.
Okay.
Wow, he went for it.
There you are.
I went for it.
Do you know about this film, this black and
I
white?
don't. So
Okay.
I'm very intrigued.
It's made in Germany.
It's made. Und
Deutschland,
You
ja.
have to put it through a Leica.
Yeah, they're very
Schwarz-Weiß-Film.
a real small company
Sorry,
that
if there's any Germans listening.
we can go on. And
No, I
on
love
that later.
Germany. So that is awesome. Yeah. All right, Daniel.
So
you get to
Daniel
choose
gets a
another
new
one.
role.
Okay. It's like Christmas all over again.
Exactly.
I have
Oh!
BW double X.
There you
Cinestill. That's perfect.
That's a
Yeah,
cool one
oh,
too.
it's perfect. That's what
wonderful.
I
Is
figured
that
it was.
50?
It is
So?
it's based off a Kodak black and white 250, right?
So yeah, so this is one where in daylight I believe it's 250, and then in it, or this might be flipped, or in tungsten it's 200.
Yep, that's
so.
what it is.
Yeah. So this is a little bit higher grain, although
200.
yeah,
I've heard
yeah.
that the Cinestill stuff is really low grain compared to standard black
compared
and white.
to yeah. So this particular film, the stock that it's based on, the stock that they used for this is a Kodak stock, and it was used in everything from, it was the stock that that Spielberg used in
Schindler's List.
Thank you. In Schindler's List, it was used in some of the Bond films for the black and white scenes there. So it's definitely a cinema. I mean, obviously it's Cinestill. But yeah, used in some great films. And I've seen, depending on the developer that you use, I've seen a wide range. I've seen very crunchy photos, and I've also seen some very flat images taken with it too. So
We'll see how it scans.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I want to pick up an X-Pan just to shoot this.
This is
Yeah,
awesome.
there you go.
I'm happy with what I got.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
It'll be awesome.
fun.
This is also, this one, it has a very unique, the ADOX has a very unique film canister.
It does.
It's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It is
It's
interesting.
also kind of sticky.
So-
They were
It's like
they were just at
weird.
they were at Photokina,
Mm-hmm.
and they had they're a super small company. I shouldn't say they're super small, but they are one of those companies that while everyone is going down and not producing as much,
Right.
they're innovating and they're trying to keep.
That's awesome.
They're going further.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Let's hope it doesn't suck.
this will be a
Yeah.
couple weeks then, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all got to shoot these. We need to.
I gotta spend another $50. Thank you, John Henry.
Sorry, Andy.
I got to find unique developer for
yeah,
this or
you
a
gotta
place
send
that'll
that back
do
to
it.
Jim.
Yeah,
And
exactly. So yeah, we'll have another episode coming up. Probably not the next episode, although it might be if we do all of this very quickly. Where we'll kind of share the results, share what we like, what we don't like, how it compares to other films that we've talked about or that we've used in the past. And so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think this should be something that we routinely do too. Maybe
Yeah.
every 6 months, every you
that's a
know.
good
So
idea.
I have
Just a film
another
swap.
suggestion.
Sure.
This is just real quick. It's for an idea in the future. Daniel, you made a comment about shooting in your old neighborhood, and I think that it'd be really neat to, I'm going far, creating a zine. Each one of us shooting in someone else's old neighborhood that they grew
Someone
up
else?
in.
Oh,
That's unique.
That would be neat.
Yeah.
And
Who's
then seeing how you
who's
look.
We need
gonna
like a
drive to
week to
Michigan?
do
I
that.
know who's going to drive to Danville, Indiana.
I'm just saying,
I'd rather either.
it's an
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
But
I like
We'll
that.
see.
I like that as a that could be really cool.
it'd be really cool. A digital
So
zine.
we could also do like a follow up to it. We could each of us shoot in our own hometowns
Okay.
one roll of film, and then we have someone else shoot there and see the difference, because you're used to shooting. If you know something really well, you're going to gravitate toward certain things,
Yeah.
certain memories, certain experiences. Someone else who doesn't have those
This is fascinating.
could would photograph the same town probably very differently.
Yeah.
So I think that would be great.
That would be so cool. I'm
Andy
just
with another
anticipating-
winner.
Well,
I'm anticipating seeing photos of my hometown from one of you guys. It's just such a cool idea.
It'll
Yeah.
all be your parents.
Oh my
just only photos of your parents.
Well, we got to wrap it up here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we want to give one more shout out to our sponsor today. That's Spirit Juice Studios. Go check out the website. I'm serious. We've got some great stuff coming up. Got some great new videos on YouTube, and especially with Holy Week coming up. Well, it's this week. Yeah, so check it out. That's spiritjuicestudios.com. Spiritjuicestudios.com. So thanks everyone for listening. It's been a great episode this week.
Yeah.
I know we didn't talk a ton of time about the films that we chose, but I think a lot of that's going to be in the follow-up when we come back, because we can talk a lot about our experiences with those films. So thanks everyone for listening. It's been a lot of fun this week, and we'll talk to you soon.